Hey, Kool-aid Krew, what is cracking? Hey guys, we're going to talk about this big storm that hit, the severe storm that did hit. It was stronger than expected and late, which is kind of interesting. We also got into a radiation storm, as you can see here with the proton flux. We've also had more flaring, but it's not been too awful bad with that. But we got some stuff coming that could possibly be affecting us. This one, there was a big one there, and then here's the big X flare right here that caused the current storm that we're talking about. Okay, and yeah, guys. So over here on Soho, also, it hit this satellite. I noticed it early on. I think this started to experience stuff a little earlier on than what the storm actually came. But this is a million miles closer to the sun than what we are. You can literally see where they flipped this 180 degrees. Now, they do that from time to time anyway to extend the life of the lens, and we'll go more into that. But we did get a radiation storm. We got into storm level. I really would appreciate you guys if you guys would share this out. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. My wife was doing homework, and we share a room when we do our online stuff. So just kind of cut me some slack on that. I was only like 2 minutes late, so I am sorry about that, but that is what happened. So if you guys could please share it out. You know, if you want to become a member, please do that. Also, we're going to be doing a members only stream. I considered doing it tonight, but because my wife had stuff going on, I couldn't get it done. This is why I don't like schedule it way out in advance, guys. Okay, and I tell you guys that straight up. I can't do that. It's just my life right now is just all over the place. My daughter's got homecoming tomorrow, homecoming parade. She's a doubleette, so she has to be there for that. They made a float and doing all those kinds of things, and I'm not missing it. It's my last time I'll be able to experience that. My other two boys are already grown men, so I'm not missing it, guys. But so now I can calm down a little bit, and we'll get into this. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So also we got an eclipse happening, a lunar eclipse. So with that happening, I actually was just outside a few minutes ago. I got some cloud cover, but the moon is so bright that I can still see through it. It's bright enough, it's shining through the clouds, and so I'm not really sure exactly what time the eclipse is supposed to be here where I'm at, but it's just going to be a sliver, guys. This is not a huge deal as far as, you know, optically, where you can go outside and everything, the moon's going to go completely away, that kind of thing. No, it's barely eclipsing. And yes, it's a pretty decent space weather deal here because, well, I'll tell you what, let's just do this as I keep talking here. I will take you guys over here to spaceweather.com. Great source of information, guys. You guys don't know who Dr. Tony Phillips is. This is his webpage. I visit this every single day, multiple times usually. Obviously, this is in my description box. I'm going to throw it in the chat there. I'm going to start asking some of my mods if you guys could do that for me from time to time from now on. I would really appreciate that if you could. Just throw links like that out there for me when I talk about them. You ain't got to like be Johnny on the spot or nothing, but I would really appreciate that. Some of you guys already do that, and I do appreciate that. So, but Dr. Tony Phillips here, guys, check that out. Guys, that's like daytime. Okay? It says it was red rays were dimly visible to the unaided eye for about 5 minutes. Okay, now I'm assuming it's daytime because you can see, I won't say daytime, it's probably like twilight or you know, dusk or something, I don't know. Let's read this, let's find out. It said, okay, yeah, because we had a completely full moon last night too, guys. It was bright. So I you know, with that being said, the Aurora probably got a little bit hampered because of that, but even giving that, this is down in Colorado, Aurora. Okay, now Colorado sees Aurora from time to time. It's not unusual to see it there. It does take a stronger storm than most, but what we're seeing here, guys, is with the harvest moon in the sky. So that means that this is bright enough, it's overcoming the brightness of the moon so people can see it. So here's that that eclipse, okay? And let's see here. Wherever you're at, in the world here, this is what you're going to see. Okay, it says visible phase, only penumbra, partial part, okay, all partial, all eclipse. Now, when they say all eclipse, notice it says all, not full eclipse. That's saying all because we get to see the whole, whatever's getting eclipsed on the moon, we get to see all of it when you're living in this area here. It says harvest moon. Said it's going to happen within 10 hours of perigee. Good Lord. I didn't realize it was that close to perigee. Perigee means that's the closest point it gets to Earth throughout the year. It doesn't get any closer to Earth. Because the moon, you know, in its orbit gets a little further away and a little closer from time to time. So that's what they're talking about there. You have apogee and perigee. Perigee means it's close. Apogee means it's the furthest away it gets throughout the year. So keep that in mind. Says it makes it about 5% bigger and a 13% brighter than usual. That's when the moon, you know, when we're talking about the moon, when it's at apogee. Okay? Well, I'm sorry, perigee. I was reading apogee there. So let's check this out. Now, see, here's the moon, right? This is all that's getting eclipsed. This is the Earth, okay, or the Earth's shadow, I should say. That darker blue right there. So as you see the moon go through here, you can definitely see how much of it gets eclipsed. It's not much. You got to know what you're looking for here, or you will miss it. You know. Now, again, it is significant because it is happening really close to perigee, right? During a harvest moon. Okay? And so, yeah. Now, it's pretty significant. I mean, I think it's pretty cool. So that's at 4 UTC. So that's at midnight. So it's happening right now. Yeah. Let's see here. When does this start? Let's see when the first part of it starts here. It's probably started right now. I bet I could see it if I went outside. I wish I'd have known that. I might have shown it to you guys. Yeah, so at 10:30, I should be able to see like the full part of it where I'm at. Well, most of us can if you're in the States. Let's look at that again. Okay? Well, half the United States, right down the middle. Okay? I'm over here in the eastern. Okay? So, yeah. Yeah, guys, it's cloudy, but I can see through it. I wish I'd have known that, guys. I'd have taken my, well, I'd have tried to take my laptop out there to show you guys this. It wouldn't have got a very good picture. So it probably would have been a waste of time. But anyway, that's what's happening right now with that. So, anyway, let's kind of move on from that. Now, I do want to talk about, we'll go ahead and just touch on the you know, the key points in the title here. I do want to show you guys this because this is something I want you guys to be aware of that happens from time to time anyway, but it's interesting that it happened as we were getting hit with the geomagnetic storm. And that is the movement of the satellite itself. Now, this satellite here is SOHO. This is the one that is 1 million miles closer to the sun, right? But it stays right out in front of us. So it does this orbit. But it rotates, it orbits around the sun at 365 days a year like we do. So technically it's actually moving slower in relation, but it stays there, right out in front of us. And again, it's kind of like our early warning system. And we get about an hour warning on typical solar weather from, or space weather from this satellite, if it's coming from the direction of the sun. Yes, we get space weather other places also, such as cosmic rays and those things. Those come from anywhere. Remember, we have a magnetosphere, which is our magnetic field, creates that in the space weather, creates our magnetosphere. And basically, it shows you where our protection is, how much is getting in. That's what the model shows anyway, not the magnetosphere itself. But it's this model right here. And I show it to you guys often. And you're going to be able to see we're still under a lot of magnetic pressure. Now, the storm has subsided. Okay, now when I got off stream last night, if you guys remember, I had you guys over here at the HP. And if I was able to go back, and I could, I guess. Let's see if we can go to home here and see if it'll show us anything back further. Not really, because this is KP and I want to show you the HP. I tried to do this earlier and I don't know what the heck happened here. That's KP. Here's HP and HP 60. Did that take us back any further? Nope. I want to go back a little bit. Let's see here. What's that do? Nothing. Except for that. So we'll escape out of that. And, oh, check it out. I can go to English. I didn't even see that there before. What a moron. I mean, come on. What, am I a freaking moron or what? Check that out. Don't answer that. But I didn't even know that was there. Holy crap, man. Wow. Sorry if I'm talking loud. I don't mean to. I really, literally rushed in here. That's what happened. So, yeah. Now, oh, thanks for the gifted memberships there. Awesome. Who did that? Oh, Planet Hermit. Coming through once again with the 5 gifted memberships, baby. Gotta love it. Gotta love it, baby. Heck yeah, you gotta love it. All right, let's, I want to highlight that. So let's see here. Got to try to find it here. There it is. So there we go. We'll put that one up there for a few minutes. But yeah. So now, let's do this here real quick. Okay, so what we're going to do, because I want to show you guys this, how it happened, I'm just going to take you guys over here. Okay, it did get to a G4. Even Noah called it a G4. Okay, now these are 3-hour data plots, these bars here, okay? We need an 8 on the KP index, the indice that we use to measure geomagnetism here, okay? And an 8 equates to a G4 solar storm, okay? Geomagnetic storm. So with that being said, you notice how it's not showing it all the way to the line. There's a reason for that, and I can show that to you here, is because it technically didn't really stay there very long. But because the average, I think, was over 8.5 or 7.5, they went ahead and I'm not sure exactly how they do that, but they did round it up and said, and the official storm level got to G4. When I got off stream with you guys last night, it was G3. High G3, but I had already showed you guys where we would already hit G4 for a short amount of time. It did go back up again to that level again as Marfugal was live. I think Steve or Scott's the one that hit me up in the chat, actually did a super chat over there to let me know that we went back up to G4, and thank you for that, Scott. I appreciate that. I really truly do. And I know Marf and them over there appreciate you too, especially when you super chat like that. So very cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. That's what you guys do for me, man. You guys really do. You guys take care of me. You guys take care of all this community, and you guys are awesome. Also, I think there was a miscommunication in the chat last night. Something about, there was a comment, Satan rules here or something like that. But it was from a longtime viewer that was using a different account name, I believe. And I might be completely wrong on this, but they weren't really saying that about this channel. I didn't read the whole text chain, and I needed to do my due diligence, and I didn't. I made a kind of knee-jerk comment saying, hey, we don't put up with that here. They were actually talking about just the world in general. Okay? So to that person, I apologize publicly. I'm not going to hide behind anything like that. I should have made sure I knew what I was talking about first. Okay? But at the end of the day, we all make mistakes, and I'm apologizing for it. I'm not going to dwell on it. Hopefully you can understand that. And, you know, but we don't, like, if somebody was to come in here and say something like that just off the cuff, there's only one reason to say that unless there's other text for context, right? If somebody drops in and just drops that comment, which is what I thought happened. I didn't recognize the account name. So when they commented back on their other account, I recognized the account name there. So that's why I didn't notice it. Now, I'm not saying that it's still, the blame is on me. But I just want to make sure that you guys understand that that was my mistake, and I need, before I start making comments like that, I do need to, you know, go back and at least try to look. If I can't figure it out, then I shouldn't say anything at all. Just to be honest with you, my mods are doing the right thing by what they think is right. Okay, they make mistakes just like everybody else, and I'm not saying they made a mistake there. I think it was just something that happened, to be honest with you. So anyway, I do want to say that. I just want to make sure we clarify that so we're all kind of on the same page. Okay, now let's again, so that was a G4. We got there. We did get the storm level on the proton flux too. That's the radiation storm. Remember, an S1 means absolutely hardly anything to us. We don't have any biological effects. Our lives are not going to change at all for that. Okay? Other than this fact that we know, hey, that's showing that we were getting hit. Because we were down here, remember? And then when that X flare fired off, this one, okay, it shot our proton flux up to that level. Okay, because it was down here. And it stayed here. We never quite got the storm level. And then when the actual CME itself hit, the other protons were able to make it through. And that was just enough. You can see right here. Because if you go look at the time it hit, look. See where this started rising? Right at the time the storm started hitting. Okay? So, and then we went up. And then when the storm started to subside, guess what? So did the protons. Okay? Now, protons will hang around longer, typically, than other things. Like geomagnetism. This is the D region absorption model, okay? We see it hanging around in our poles here. Anybody that's seen this model before knows it doesn't typically look like that. This stuff is hardly ever even there unless we are getting hit with a massive CME or a proton radiation storm, okay? So, as you can tell, you see how it's not really dissipating very fast? This is normal, okay? It's probably going to take some more geomagnetism and solar wind, believe it or not, to flush it out. Okay? You see this signature here? This is the dartboard I talk about all the time. The target. Sometimes we'll see it up here in the north and sometimes a little bit in the south, but it's not ever intense. So I just want to make sure you guys understand that. So when we get a flare, you know, you see how that kind of went like that? So when we get bigger flares, obviously it gets more intense. So I just wanted to make sure you guys understood that this radiation will hang out in our ionosphere for quite some time, and it depends upon how much more geomagnetic activity we're getting at the time. Because what happens is we will go over here to this. This is our magnetosphere, right? You guys see all this out? Yesterday I was telling you guys the dark blues, right? Remember, that's the more dense material. You guys see what's going on here? It's white. Why is it white? This is very normal for after a geomagnetic storm. Let me explain. The density is almost not even there. Okay? And the reason being is we got hit with fast solar wind, and with that being said, it grabs everything and flushes it right out the back. Okay? At first we get hit with all this density, right? And then the continued hit as it starts to wind down, like here, right? As it starts to do that, it's continually grabbing, charged particles and flushing them out the back. So that's what you're seeing there, okay? I just want to make sure that that's very clear because it's important to understand that. Because if you can understand that, you can understand quite a bit about our magnetosphere. Because that's how it kind of works. You guys see how this is inside our protection. Okay? Right now, our bow shock is probably way out here. You can't see it right now until we get hit a little bit. You'll see it kind of peek in a little bit here and here. So anything inside our protection always has lower density. Okay, so when we're looking at density, it's here. So that's why when I show you this model here, that's why it's usually darker blues here on the edge, and the white stuff is kind of right behind Earth, right? that's inside our magnetic protection. So there's not as much density that lives there. But when you start seeing these white colors all around us, that means, hey, stuff has gotten flushed out. Now, you will see this more often as signature during solar minimum, okay? Because sometimes we'll get here to this color, low density, and we'll stay there for days, okay? Just because the solar activity is just lower than what it is right now during solar max. So our geomagnetism lowers, and thus everything else comes down with it, okay? But yeah, so... and by the way, guys, give me a roll call in there if you would. I would love to know the region you guys are at. If anybody at all got Aurora photography yesterday, please send it to me. I love to see that. It's so freaking cool. Also, let me do this. I want to, this window size might go crazy on you here a little bit. I want to, bring in one of these. Okay, so guys, that's Gary Mustard II. He's now coming. He actually was using some other social media and stuff, but Evolution Photography. He posted a couple shorts today. Please go over there and show some support. This is his imaging. This is his Aurora photography that he caught, and he wanted me to share it with everybody a few days ago. This was really cool. This is the Aurora that was moving moving backwards. I don't want to call it the wrong way because I don't think there is a right or wrong way for Aurora to move after looking at it, but the typical movement is actually from east to west, okay? And this Aurora just happens to be moving from west to east. So whatever significance that is, I really truly don't know. If it's a big deal or not, or if it's something that's very, very rare or not, I don't know. But I would highly encourage you guys to go over to his channel, which is Evolution Studios, not photography. Okay, if you could go check him out and check out he actually took a short today of Polaris, and he's looking up at Polaris and he's showing you how the whole sky is spinning around Polaris. And there's a reason for that, and I'm not going to get into some big detailed explanation on that right now. But essentially, that's our North Star, so obviously things are going to rotate around it. It shouldn't move very much, and it doesn't. Okay, that's why we get star trails, because we're rotating. And I'm not going to get into some big arguments and stuff with people, because people do argue that fact on why that's happening. And it's okay. You know, it's okay to have that opinion, whatever opinion you have. I personally don't have that opinion. I think that what we see there is normal. So, anyway, we will move over to this. Now, again, this is that big flare, and I'm only showing it to you because of, obviously, that's what caused the geomagnetic storm. So what I want to do here is I want to give you guys the latest updated imaging here on SDO. And let's do this really, really quick. I do want to do this. I'm going to take you guys. I should have already had this staged. Guys, I really was behind the 8-ball today. I had this all staged, and my wife went in here to do homework, and it took her longer than I thought it was going to. So I do apologize for being a little bit late. So where are we at here, guys? The rainy, cloudy paradise. Lots of laughs. Thank you, Watchwoman. God bless you. We fly in days from now. Okay, okay. Angel, boogie down Bronx, baby. Pam B. Partial lunar eclipse tonight. I don't see it here. You will, Pam. You're right. You're in my next town over. You should be seeing it here in about a half hour, I think. Just look up. The moon is bright enough that it's shining through the clouds here. So you should be able to see it, especially if you're out in the country, because I know you don't have as much population over that way. Let's see here. I want to see the Northern Lights. Me too, Brenda. It's on my bucket list. It really, truly is. Yeah, it's going to be at different times for people, guys. I'm sorry, I'm sitting there reading that. Western Washington State, Miss V. Yeah, it's pretty rainy in there. Hey, Ron. Thank you for all the gifted memberships you've given. Man, I really do appreciate you, brother. So cool. Hey, Diana. North Iowa. Awesome. Double rainbow. That is so cool. Guys, I seen a triple rainbow once. It was nuts. Louisiana, Patricia. Hey, there you go, Hermit. You got clear skies. That's awesome. Hey, Ron. I love that. Hope Katrina dreams. Wow, Ricky says. Good to see you, Ricky. South Carolina, Bill. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you here. Zacali, prepping group in bio. What a name. It's a fact that the poles are shifting. It's cyclical. Yes, 100% I agree with that. It most certainly is in a cycle. 100% that's the facts. But one thing it ain't a fact, one thing it is a fact that we need to pay attention to is none of us have ever been here for that event. So that's why everybody argues about it, you know. Anyway, so SDO, guys, it rotates. And I'm showing you this because I'm going to show you the reason why they do that to the satellites here in just a second. This right here is rotating, keeps its eye on the sun. It's in geosynchronistic orbit, which means it stays right in front of us. Right out here, stays over this same part of the Earth at all times. It orbits the Earth the same speed we rotate around our axis. That's why that's how this satellite operates. So, with that being said, here is the latest imaging as far as the 94 angstrom on SDO. And this one tends to show flares fairly well. And as you can tell, things have kind of quieted down. Now, this is not going to hold, okay? It never does. It never will. There will always be activity, okay? Now, can I tell you exactly when that's happening? No. What I can tell you is as we're getting more and more sunspots reappearing and starting to show on the Earth-facing disk. Yes, they call this a disk because it's what it looks like from our point of view. Basically, it's just the Earth-facing side of the sun. So when we're looking at this, yeah, we got more sunspots coming. Now, what I want to do here, I am going to back up and take you to a different view. We're going to take a look at the sunspots themselves as far as magnetism. We're going to look at the magnetogram, the colorized version. So we look at a magnetogram and we're able to see, with the colorized version, we can see the polarities. Okay? So when we see the reds and blues start to mix, that's when they become very, very complex and they have the best chance of flaring. So that's just what I would say. Yeah, I remember that too. I always wondered that same thing. Michigan lifestyle. That part did confuse me when I was a kid because of that reason. But yeah. Alright, so anyway, you can see how the majority of the sunspots are in the southern hemisphere right now. If they do flare or hit or have CMEs erupt, they will come at us. There sits just below the south of the equator a little bit in relation to the sun. Okay, so we sit just a little bit below the ecliptic. That's what they call that. The ecliptic is nothing more than an imaginary line that stretches out infinitely as if you were the equator of the sun. Okay, it's just a point of reference so we can have a way to know where things are in space. We can say, hey, we're above the ecliptic and maybe Mercury is below it. And then we can measure and do those kinds of things. It helps with the math, helps us understand things. There's something called the celestial sphere too. That's an imaginary vertical line. Well, the sphere itself isn't, but we need to know that because it points at our North Star and it helps us understand field rotation. And I can get into that a little bit more deep at a later date. But those are like, we make those things there so we have a point of reference so we can understand how things are moving in space. So with the ecliptic, that's just one of those things. So yeah, much like the Earth, right? When I say, hey, we're rotating around the Earth's axis, is there an actual, a pole going down through the middle of the Earth? No, it's an imaginary line that we're spinning on. So just keep that in mind when somebody wants to say, oh, it's all imaginary. They have to use that to do this and this and this. No, Okay? It's very normal. Okay? So there's some things you just, they're so big that you have to do that with. Anyway, let's, I want to take you here to the satellite part of it. And, well, let me finish up here. I want to make sure I finish up my thought here. These sunspots rotating in right now, they are fairly decent size. Now, I will say that it looks like they just have two main cores each. Now, if they kind of split and we start seeing a bunch of blues and reds swirling with each other, kind of like this one is now in a position that if it fires anything at all, it's coming right at us. Okay? It's pretty much directly in front of Earth. So, yeah. Can we not continue to spam that kind of stuff, guys? Or spam anything. It ain't about the stuff. Let's just quit spamming the same thing over and over and over. That's just not, not cool. Yeah, exactly. Even though we might agree with you, some of us might agree, some of us might disagree, we don't need to continually put it in there. It's just not, it doesn't, yeah. Anyway, good to see you, Hilly. What's up, my brother? All right, now, let's go here. So with that being said, guys, we're going to keep an eye on that, all right? What I do want to do here real quick, and I know I feel like I'm going kind of fast because I am. I don't want to go much longer because I know Marfugel's probably going live here in just a minute. And I don't want to be live again like I was last night. I didn't mean to, but I did want to cover the geomagnetic storm. But yeah. Come on, guys. Let's just not do that in the chat anymore. Please. I mean, can we be adults? I just don't understand it. No, nobody's asking you to shut your mouth, watch woman. Okay, I'm just going to say that right now. My chat is pretty much free to say what you want to say, but you can't keep saying it over and over and over and over and over and over again. Everybody's seen what you said, and a lot of us probably would agree with you. But let's just do that, okay? I mean, I just don't understand it, guys. We're not children. We're adults. We can respect each other. And nobody is telling anybody to shut their mouth. So I do take offense to that. Nobody's telling you to shut your mouth. I have never said that. I wouldn't disrespect anybody like that. Ever. So I just want to make sure you know that. Gosh. Anyway. Okay. So we got SDO here. We're going to go over here to Soho again, because I do want to show you guys what happened with that satellite. Okay, a lot of you guys might have seen this. Okay? So, let's do this. As this is moving, you guys see what happened right there? And I'm gonna pause it. Okay, so I'm gonna pause it right there because the start of the day it looked like this. Right? So when I start this, you're gonna see it flip. Watch. So it flipped to like three or 4 hours into the time lapse here. If you were to take this and superimpose it and flip it 180 degrees, it would match up with that exact image. We're going to go back to when it flipped. So if you see that, watch that right there. It's going to end up over here. See? They do this from time to time to extend the life of the lens. Now, they also will do this too if it gets hit with massive solar storm. So yeah. So that's just what I'll say, you know. And I do want to say one more thing, okay, about what just happened there. If I want somebody to listen to me, right, I'm not going to be rude, number one. I'm not going to force my opinion on somebody. I'm not going to discount what they are saying to me. I'm going to listen to them. And if I want them to understand, if I think I need somebody to come over to the side the way that I think, that's how I handle it. Now, everybody doesn't have to handle it how I do, okay? But for me, when somebody's trying to cram something down my throat, I rebel against it. Now, I'm not sure if a lot of you guys are like that or not, but I say that just so everybody can kind of understand it. And I want people to know. But yeah, watch a little bit. Let's see here. Hey Kathy. Yeah, that she didn't need timed out for that. She was actually backing up what I was saying. Okay. You probably misunderstood how that was put out there, which is why I never addressed the chat. This is why I don't, because it starts going off the rails and people start doing all this stuff. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't want the drama. So we've got 3 simple rules here in the chat room, guys. It's really simple. You're allowed to have your opinion. Okay? There is no spamming. We can't have spam. YouTube hates it. Number 1, you can't be rude or attack anybody else. Number 2, no vulgarity. Okay? If you say anything bad about another channel, it gets out of there immediately. And if it gets excessive, that's when the steps are taken. And I just think that if we were to respect each other, okay, it's okay that people, I'm a Christian, okay, but I know that everybody here is not a Christian. I know this. I'm not going to disrespect them. Okay? So I expect the same in return. So if we're all adults, we can have a conversation that doesn't have to go crazy. But yeah, I mean, but what they were saying, that was a different account, Kathy. I got you. I'm not upset with you at all. I'm just saying I think it was a misunderstanding there a little bit. That's all I'm saying. And you know, and I guess I would say this to my moderators: we can be a little bit, you know, let some stuff go. But when it does become spam, or if it does become, hey, we've asked you to stop that, and you're not, let's just be respectful. And you know, my mods are awesome. They got a hard job to do. I get asked all the time, why do I have so many? This is why. This is why. This happens. And I just want you guys to understand that this is a good place to come, and we are respectful to everybody. One thing I get upset with is if somebody in my chat is getting disrespected. Okay, so if somebody says, hey, that's really upsetting me, please just stop. Okay, at that point, agree to disagree, and then move on to a different subject. It's something else that floors me too. I'm sitting here talking about the sun and satellites and everything else that's going on, and it's okay to have side conversations because that's great. But when the whole chat is talking about all that, they're not even listening to what I'm saying, so why am I saying it? It gets a little frustrating. And yes, I'm voicing my frustration, so I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be crazy here, but that's just what it is. That's how I feel about it. We enforce those rules. I back my mods, and I back my subscribers and my members all at the same time. If we make mistakes, we correct it. Okay? So that's just what I'll say. Yep, I agree, Ripper. 100%. 100% agree with that. So I'm going to stop with that. I'm going to go back to what I do. And just know that I'm going to say one more thing. I love all of you guys. I want all of you here. I don't want you guys to feel any way. I never do this. Anybody that's ever heard me talk on my streams, I never do what I'm doing right now. It takes a lot to get me to do this. And the past week or two has gotten me to this point. And that's why I'm saying something. Because I don't want my mods to have to make those decisions without me saying, hey, this is what I want done in my chat. I back, you know, they're trying to do what I want, not necessarily what they want. And the way to keep the drama out of the chat is to not allow it. The biggest way to do it is you can't attack anybody else or any other channel. That one rule right there, the drama goes right out the window. It's that, and we will enforce that rule. That is something I won't bend on. So anyway, let's just go. All right. Now, thank you, Ripper, for putting that in there. I appreciate you, brother. Well done. Well done, my friend. All right. Now, guys, look. Check this out. Now, as I'm moving here, I'm gonna back this up. See how it does that? They flip this 180 degrees. Now, I can show you this on stereo A also. So let me say that. Let me show you this. It might show it. Nope, it doesn't show it on this one. But I can take you to a website that does show that. Let's go to the stereo A movie tool. And you guys will see it really clear here in just a second. Let's go to, I believe it is the coronagraph, this red one here. Now I'm going to go to the 515. We'll do a slideshow. I guess it doesn't really matter what day. This isn't going to be today, okay? This is just going to be whatever day. Okay, yeah, it's a 2-day run. So let's do it like that. We'll hit search and see what it gives us. Oh man, I didn't want that one. So we'll keep that, and we'll go to, is it HI? Oh, I'm with the core. I'm with the coronagraph 1. That's a coronagraph 2, guys. It's just it's a different image. Here it is. Oh, you can't see it though. I'm trying to show you something specifically, and I'm not doing a really good job here. Yeah, I don't want to show you that either. I'll tell you what I can do though. Let's just do this. You guys see this right here? That's an actual arm on the camera itself. Okay? So if you were to take that and put it right there, it's holding this occulter disc. Okay, there's an arm holding this occulter disc, and you can't really see it very well over here on the on Soho, but it's there. Okay, and as you flip it on some of the images, you actually see that arm will go 180 degrees. That's the only reason why I wanted to show it to you. Okay, just so you guys can see that arm moving to prove what I'm saying. Now, but you can just do it by the shape of this. If we were to superimpose that. So what's happened here, guys, I do think the space weather started hitting this satellite, and it did kind of knock it for a loop. Yeah, 100%, Ripper. I kind of said the same thing when I started addressing it. You know, it's not that we disagree with what was being said. You just can't keep spamming it. Especially when you're asked not to, I guess. You know, I guess that's probably the biggest thing. But anyway, I guess I don't go in other people's chat and do that. I guess maybe I have a different way of thinking things. I don't know. I don't know what's right and wrong when it comes to that. I just try to enforce the chat rules that I've set forth, and sometimes I succeed and sometimes I don't. But for the most part, I think we cultivate a very, very good family around here. And I know that we have a good, strong core. And I know we all love each other. Even the ones that are spamming right now. I mean, they wouldn't be saying that unless they love people. You know what I mean? So I hope they don't get upset like that. Because it's not meant like that. You know? Oh, you hurting, Kathy? Oh, I hate to hear that. Pain sucks. It really does. Is Hilly still in here? Where's Hilly at? He's snipe and run? Hope he's okay. Hadn't seen him in a couple shows. I get worried about him sometimes. He keeps different hours than what I do. So it's kind of, I understand he's usually in bed when I go live. So, but guys, I've known Hilly longer than I've known anybody else. I'm talking like 12 years. Well, 10 years probably. We met in a chat room, Texas news station. I was just checking it out one day, and he was in there, and he was a mod, and Mark over there runs that channel. He still got his channel up and running. It's good too. Okay, I was just double checking, make sure I didn't miss anything, guys. But guys, please go check out this eclipse. If you have a chance, go outside and take a look. And for you guys over there in the western part of the country, like Rip and Ilea and well, I guess oh, that's a hard thing. Yeah, I know, Hilly, man. I go at crazy hours, man, and I know it's that you and your wife, your guys' work schedule and stuff. It's hard. You got to get sleep, man. I get it, bro. 100% get it. So anyway, guys, listen. That satellite did do that. It is nothing out of the ordinary. That is why I showed it to you. You're gonna find oftentimes here on my channel, I do that for that reason. Because I don't want people freaking out over something that they don't need to. Okay? If it's something that I think is normal, or something that I know is normal, you're going to see me address it. Okay? So when we have the eclipse happen with SDO, this satellite, I tell you every time. Because there's going to be channels out there telling you guys, oh my gosh, what big, huge, humongous object just went in front of the satellite? What just eclipsed the sun? Nothing did. Okay? The Earth passed between the satellite and the sun. Just like that. So I do it all the time. You know? Hey, John, good to see you, bud. Beans and Franks, what a name. I love that. Something about Mary movie. Pretty cool. No eclipse yet? All right, let's do this. I'll tell you what I can do real quick before I get off here. How long have we been live? About 45 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I don't go much longer. If you guys come over here, guys, seriously, I already posted this in the chat. This link, okay? So if you guys click that link, you guys, it's in my description box too. So look at the time here. If you're on the East Coast, if you're in Eastern Standard Time, what you do is you subtract 4 hours from that. So at 4 UTC, it's midnight Eastern. So you can come over here to this website right now, and you can figure out when you're going to see this little sliver of an eclipse. And it is happening again. Let me just say that. It's happening at perigee, okay? Which means at this time, the moon doesn't get any closer throughout the year than what it is right now. And it's a harvest moon. Okay? Now, apogee is the actual opposite. That's when the moon will actually be smaller because it's further away. So. Oh, you seeing it now? Watchwoman? Watchman's? Midnight hour? You have no idea what's up? Sorry, pure plant motion. Okay, let me explain. I need to slow down. I'm sorry, guys. I really was wound up when I sat down because I was in a hurry. We got an eclipse tonight. It's a partial little sliver of an eclipse. Half the United States is going to see the full part of it. Half the United States won't. But yeah. Olivia, where's Olivia? I see a new member in here. Am I seeing a new member? Or a new subscriber? Well, thank you, Olivia. That's very kind. You know, that's such a cool thing to hear. Guys, and I will say this too. Very seldom do I have to talk like I did a little bit earlier here. And I don't like doing it. I hate doing it because it brings the room down and everything else. But sometimes we have to, right? I think we kind of know that. But at the same time, one comment like Olivia just made right there erases 50 bad comments that I get. So when I'm human just like everybody else. And I've explained this before. You know, it does get to me sometimes. You know, if just think about this. If you were doing something every day, researching stuff all the time, trying to keep up with all the news and everything that's happening, and then when you pop on the first thing you see is somebody calling you an idiot or getting an email with a death threat over space weather? Really? That's what happens sometimes to me. I don't bring it to you guys because you guys don't have to hear it, and I don't want you to, because it's a negative part of what I do. But one comment like Olivia just made erases all of that. So, just so you know. Thank you, Olivia. So cool. But yeah. Happy B-Day, Laura. Hey, let's get some, what number are we going to pick for birthdays? Well, seeing how when we're born with our birthday suit, right? So let's use some zeros. Hilly, member for 5 months, baby. Happy birthday, Laura. Hey, guys, if you guys don't know that, if you're a member, you guys get a free super chat once a month. That's what Hilly just did right there, okay? So use them. I highly encourage you to use them. I'll tell you what we're going to do, let's put some, I don't want to put BS for birthday suit. Let's do HB. We'll do some HBs in the chat for happy birthday. How about that? There we go. Happy birthday. Or zeros, Harley, that's cool too. Whatever. Whatever works. But anyway, guys, I am going to go ahead and pop off. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for listening to me rant there for a minute and try to help out in the chat there a little bit. Just know that when the moderators do something, they're doing it because they're trying to enforce the rules that I have in place. Hey, miss, good to see you, girl. So understand that. So please don't get mad at them. Okay, if you want angry, just email me. And if it's something that I can fix, or if it's something that somebody made a mistake, we fix it, right? One thing that I don't typically do is address stuff like that in a comment section. I have. Matter of fact, I did a couple videos back. But after I address it, typically I'll go back and erase it, because it's just drama. It doesn't need to be there, right? And I understand that sometimes that's the only avenue you guys have to get in touch with me. So, well, thank you, Inquiring Minds. What a nice thing to say, man. Or woman. I'm not sure if you're a man or a woman. I apologize if I misgendered you there a little bit. Hey, that's a good one there, too. I didn't even think about putting a birthday cake in there. Very cool. Hey, you know what? During our next members only stream, we'll take time and we'll make a members only emoji for a birthday cake for happy birthday. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that super chat. So cool. So cool. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You guys are all cool. You really are. You guys bring my mood up every time I come on here. I'm not kidding. I could come on here with the nastiest attitude, and 3 minutes in, somebody has said something to flip my attitude right on its head. So thank you for that. Oh, there you go. Harley's using the hey, I got an idea light bulb. That's a members only emoji. That's one of the cool things about being a member. There you go, FaZe. Good to see you. But yeah, guys. Hey, I am going to be doing a members only stream tomorrow. If I get nothing else done tomorrow, it will be a members only stream. But I'm going to do both, just so you know. But I'm going to do a members only because I try to do them once a week or once every week and a half or so. I've just seen... I'm not going to get into that. That'll start a whole freaking mess of things. There's some channels out there. Now, some channels... Well, let me just use this as an example. Marfugal tells you, you're a member over there, you're supporting the channel. They don't do members only streams, right? It's up front. They say it. That's what it is. That's what it's for. It makes it easy for people to support the channel and not have to worry about trying to super chat all the time, right? That's why they did it. Other channels will say, hey, we're going to do a members only stream once every 3 or 4 days, and then you see them do it once every 6 months. I'm not doing that. This is crazy. Then I tell you guys straight up, I don't schedule them out too far because of my schedule's all over the place. So you'll get a 4 or 5 hour posting warning probably. I usually put out a members only community post to let you guys know, hey, I'm getting ready to post this video up, and we'll do a members only stream here in 4 or 5 hours. So it's important if you're a member to have your bell clicked, because that's what's going to get you the notification. So yeah. Hey, Genius by birth. Hey, let me show you Genius's a show there, right there. That's her favorite emoji right there. I think we made it for her. I think she let us, we made it live during the members only stream. That's the sloth on the couch. Thank you for all the donations and stuff you give too, Genius. You're awesome. So cool. All right, guys. I am going to pop off. So I've said that like 12 times now, but I'm getting out of here. All right, guys. Love all you guys. God bless. Yahusha saves, and as always, what can you do, guys? Come on, say it with me. You gotta say it with me, or I'm not getting off here. I'll just stay on here the whole time for 35 hours. I'm just kidding. But yeah, you can drink